Right, so this is for grade 9. This is the recap and factorising lesson that we did. You would have done this in grade 8 and back in September. So what is factorising? So these questions, you're looking for common factors that they both have in each question. So here, the only thing they have in common is y. And then inside, what you multiply y by to get 2y is just 2. What you multiply y by to get y squared is just y. The next one, highest common factor of 4 and 10 is 2. Highest common factor of a squared and a is a. Then you open your bracket, a. 2a times what gets you 4a squared. Well, you need a 2 to get the 4 and an a to get the a squared. And then you need 2 times 5 to get your 10, and then we don't need anything else because there's already an a there. Highest common factor on these two is 3y. And then inside your bracket, 3 times 3 gets you 9. Y squared times y gets you y cubed, and then just plus 1 because this is already on the outside. Next one, they don't have, the coefficients have nothing in common. The only thing they have in common is a variable, which is a. So on the inside, it is 3 plus 4a because you need the squared at the end. Here, they both have an a squared in common because there's a cubed and a squared. And then inside, you need an a to make it cubed, minus, and then just 1 because you just need the a squared at the end. Last one, 10 and 6, 2 is the highest common factor, and then just a b. And then inside, 2 times 5 gets you 10, and then b squared will get you b cubed. Plus, we don't need any b's, but we do need a 3 to make that a 6. The next thing that we looked at then was we reminded ourselves about how we factorise quadratics. So we look for two numbers that multiply to get you 12. I like to list them out, and it's a positive 12. So 1 and 12 minus 1 minus 12, 2, 6, minus 2 minus 6, 3, 4, minus 3 minus 4. When you add them together, they need to get you that 7. So it can't be these two. 2 add 6 is 8. And then 3 add 4, so here's your answer here. And then what do? We open our brackets, x plus 3, x plus 4. Why does that work? Well, if you go on to expand this bracket, x times x is x squared, x times 4 is 4x, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 4 is 12. You simplify them, that's where you get x squared plus 7x plus 12. So your answer for the question is x plus 3, x plus 4. Right, then we moved on to these questions for the assess prep task. So numbers that multiply to get you 27. You've got 1, 27, 3, 9, negative 1, negative 27, negative 3, negative 9. You don't always have to write your multiples out. You can do some of them in your head. So which one is going to get me the 12? It's going to be the 3. So plus 3 and plus 9. Right, the next one, because it's a negative number, that means you could have like negative 1, positive 18, because when 1's a negative, it makes a positive number. Then, 1 and, negative 18, you've got 2, negative 9, negative 2, 9, then you've got 3, negative 6, and then negative 3, positive 6. This time when you add them together, it's going to make a positive 6. That means my positive number should be bigger than my negative. So what has a difference of 3? It is this one. So x minus 3, x plus 6. Right, the next one, something that when you multiply gets you 9, but when you add, you get negative 6. So 9 is only 1, 9, 3, and 3. Then you can have negative 1, negative 9, negative 3, negative 3. Because it's a negative number, that means they're both going to be negative in this question. So x minus 3, x minus 3. And you can simplify that because they are the same. And just write it as minus 3x and then squared. Right, the last one, it's negative 20. So like the question above. So you've got 1, negative 20, negative 1, 20, 2, negative 10, negative 2, 10. 4, negative 5, and then negative 4. Didn't mean that. And 5. Right, they're going to be pretty close together, but they're going to have to be negative 1. So that means the negative's bigger in this question. So that's going to give you x minus 4. No, it's not. X minus 5. And x plus 4. Head over to Assess Prep and have a go with that factorising assess prep task.